Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, the undying flame of justice. A call to conscience from the heart of history. I have a dream. One day, people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. These words weren't just an echo from America in 963. They still resonate powerfully, touching the depths of hearts yearning for freedom, justice, and dignity across the world, even today. Martin Luther King wasn't a powerful politician. He wasn't a revolutionary brandishing a gun. He was a black pastor with a heart ablaze with light from his faith and love, daring to dream in seemingly impossible dream. And more than that, daring to pay with his very life to make that magnificent dream a reality. Martin Luther King. His life, his philosophy, and the nonviolent flame. 1. America in the shadow of racial segregation. Let's turn back time to the 1950s and 1960s. This was a dark period in American history when racial segregation reigned as an unwritten law. Black people in America were stripped of basic human rights. They couldn't sit in the same seats as white people on buses, couldn't use the same restrooms, and couldn't attend the same schools. They were humiliated, tormented, and even brutally murdered simply because of the color of their skin. Martin Luther King grew up and lived in this world of injustice, full of hatred and violence. But instead of letting hatred consume him, he chose a different path. He learned to understand, to forgive, and to lift up suffering souls with the power of love. It was an extraordinary choice, opening a new chapter for his life and for an entire nation. 2. Lighting the fire with a heart free of hatred. The first turning point came in 1955, when a brave black woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white person on a bus in Montgomery. That small yet profoundly meaningful act ignited the flame of struggle, and Martin Luther King rose to lead the historic Montgomery bus boycott. What made Martin Luther King great was his method of struggle. He never called for violence, never incited retaliation or confrontation. Instead, he steadfastly followed the path of nonviolence. He urged everyone, "We will not bow down, but we also will not raise our fists. We will walk in the light of love." It was precisely this compassionate, yet incredibly resilient and powerful philosophy of nonviolence that made Martin Luther King the soul and guiding light of the American civil rights movement, attracting the support of millions from all walks of life and races. 3. I Have a Dream, a call that shook the conscience of humanity. The most immortal moment in his struggle was on August 28, 1963. On the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, before more than 250,000 people from all backgrounds, Martin Luther King uttered those immortal words, "I have a dream." His voice resonated like thunder, awakening the conscience not only of America, but of all humanity. One day, the children of former slaves and the children of former slave owners would sit together at the table of brotherhood. One day, America would truly become a land of freedom and equal opportunity for all, regardless of race or origin. That dream was not a distant fantasy. It was a promise of a just future, born from the extraordinary courage of the present, from an ironclad faith in righteousness and human kindness. 4. A pastor, a prophet, a living torch. Martin Luther King didn't just fight for the rights of black people. He fought for the dignity of all humanity, regardless of skin color, religion, or background. He once said, "We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead, and that we shall not turn back." Martin Luther King was like a guiding image, a torch lighting the way in the modern world, bringing light amidst the darkness of discrimination, a call for love and unity amidst the gunshots of hatred and division. He was not just an activist, he was a prophet of peace and justice. Martin Luther King was tragically assassinated in 1968, but his dream could not be killed. It continues to live and inspire in every person who dares to stand up for justice, in every heart that refuses to compromise with injustice, and in every soul that dares to love in a world still full of division. Perhaps you too carry a great dream, a desire to change something for yourself and for your community? But do you dare to live and die for it, to commit yourself to making it a reality? If you feel that Martin Luther King's dream is also humanity's shared dream, a dream of a just world filled with love, please like, subscribe, and share this video so that Martin Luther King's light and his message continue to spread, inspiring millions of hearts. Because this world still needs more Martin Luther Kings, people who dare to dream, dare to act, and dare to love.